which line segment is the longest? Line AB or line CD or line EF? So here you can see that these are points and there are coordinates. So in order to find which line segment is the longest, we have to find the distance of each line. So the distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then we square root it. Then that is the distance. So as you can see, it's a little bit complicated. So here we can see that x2, remember it is just a name. It does not necessarily mean that x is timesing x by itself. So it's x2 is just a name. So let's use this formula and try to solve for the distance of line AB. So line AB we have -1 and 5 is the x. So it says x2 minus x1, so 5 minus -1. So 5 minus -1, so we write 5 minus -1. Actually, I'll use the other bracket. And then square plus y squared, which is 1 minus -2. And then we close the bracket and then square. Then we square root it. So we have, let's simplify it. So 5 minus -1, which is 5 plus 1, so it's 6 squared plus 1 minus -2, which is 1 plus 2, so 3 squared. Then we square root it. So we first of all square them. So 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36, plus 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, is 9. Then we square root it. Then we get square root 45. Now, as you can see, we can't really, there's no number. We can't square root 45. If we square root it, it would be a decimal and we would have to use a calculator. But remember, we're just trying to find which line segment is the longest. So we can just leave it as a square root. Now, there is actually another way instead of using the formula because it is so confusing. So we have point CD. So we want to know the distance of line CD. So we want to know 4 plus or minus what is equal to 0. So 4 minus what is equal to 0. And 3 plus or minus what is equal to 1. 3 minus 2. So we get -4, remember to bracket squared, plus -2 squared. And then we square root it. So we get -4 squared, which is -4 times -4, which is 16, plus -2 times -2 is 4. So we square root it, and then we get 20. So let's try solving for the distance of line EF. So x -2 plus or minus what is equal to 2? -2 plus 4 is 2, and 7 plus or minus what is equal to -1. 7 minus 8 is -1. So we have 4 squared plus, remember to bracket, square, and then we square root it. We get 4 times 4, which is again 16, plus -8 times -8 is 64. Then we square root it and we get 80. So here, these are all the distance, and whichever number that is the biggest, let's just ignore the square root. Whichever number is the biggest, then we know that the distance is the longest. So here, the longest line is EF. So that is how you solve for the distance of a line.